Welcome to this month's Golf Talk. We're going to be discussing demo days, course updates, and golf simulators. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Golf Talk. I'm your host, Pat White, and joining us today, as usual, is Casey Flenniken, our Director of Golf, Wells McClure, our Director of Maintenance. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Pat.
Casey, first question to you.
Sure.
We just had a big turnout for demo days.
We did.
What happens in demo days?
So we have various vendors that we have relationships with in Tellico Village, and it's a great chance for those vendors to bring their tech reps out, and basically our patrons can go and try the latest and greatest in golf technology. And I think that one of my favorite things about demo day is we get a little creative in doing an all vendor demo day. So we'll have individual demo days, say Titleist or Callaway comes out, just that company and their tech rep. But the first Friday of April every year, we have an all vendor demo day where we serve lunch to the people that come by and try out new golf clubs. But we get a chance to really almost bring a start to golf season is all vendor demo day to me. It's like we had probably 400 plus people come out to all vendor demo day, and great chance to compare your stuff that you currently have to what's new in technology and see if an upgrade is right for you.
May I interrupt you here for a minute?
Sure.
I don't think other clubs have all vendor demo days. We're talking Titleist, Callaway.
Ping, PXG, and Cobra were all there.
They all come at the same time.
They were all there. The range was packed. We served 211 lunches, and not everybody ate.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say there was almost 400 people coming through there, and it's a little old school, if you will. That used to be a big thing, and now we really more than ever are doing individual demo days as well as the all vendor demo days. We probably do 10 or 12 on a monthly basis with each individual company, and I think it's honestly a testament to how much we're growing. Right. It's unbelievable. In 2019 we did 74,000 rounds. In 2024 we did 116,000 rounds. I mean, and I think that not only as the staff we feel it, right? We feel how many more people there are, but even in our merchandise sales, you see it. And it's incredible to see how many new people are coming through the door. I mean, I'm shaking hands every day of brand new people that I've never met. They might have lived here for 10 years, they've never played golf, and now they're choosing to play golf. Or it's a new person who's moving to the village. And so these all vendor demo days are a great way for you to also put a face to the name with some of the staff, right? And so we've actually got some footage from demo day.
Well, good.
Yep.
You're going to show it to us?
I'd like to show it right now.
All right.
All right, we're live here at the Cobra tent. I'm with one of our newer employees. Joe started with us around the beginning of the year. Yep. This is Joe Britton. He's the assistant golf professional at Tenacity Golf Club. Joe, kind of talk a little bit about what we're doing today and what Cobra's got going in the golf business.
Yeah, so today we're allowing everybody to do our new Adapt driver. A little bit new technology this year. Really hot driver, so if you haven't been able to stop by, don't be afraid to contact me through my email and we'll get you a club fitting with it. Get you to try the new driver, irons, hybrids, and woods.
Awesome. Just outside of today at Vendor Day, kind of what are you doing within Tellico Village? Obviously, I know what golf leagues you run, but kind of tell our viewers what golf leagues and how can somebody get a hold of you?
Yeah, so this year I'll be helping Charles with MGA 18 every Thursday, 18-hole league. You can contact me through my email at jbritton@tvpoa.org. We can do lessons, club fittings, whatever you'd like, but that's how you reach me through my email.
Awesome. Joe, so excited you're on our team.
Yeah.
Look forward to the future, buddy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, great to be here.
All right, now we're at the Callaway pit stop, and with us we've got newest member of our professional staff, Mr. Rick McClure. He's the new assistant golf professional here at the Tokwa Golf Club. Rick, I obviously have known you, but super excited to have you on staff, and
absolutely
all your club fitting expertise are already starting to kick off. So tell us a little bit about what Callaway's got going on today.
What Callaway has going on is a lot of technology. They've taken They have a new carbon fiber that they use in the space industry that we use on our drivers now. We have AI designed faces, AI designed heads. So as high tech as you can come. I mean, just our driver face has 24,000 hit points on it to keep it forgiving all the way through the face. And you just don't have that anymore. You don't see it anywhere.
Correct. And, you know, for a lot of our people, you know, it was raising kids or working, but
Yep.
for whatever reason, and majority of them, not everyone, but are retired or
Exactly.
just recently retired. And, you know, you see some head covers come off in Teleco, and you can't help but smile sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah,
And so,
yeah.
you know, and they'll have a driver from 2013, and a lot of people ask me, is there a difference? And I say, well, what kind of car do you drive? And they say, 2023 Escalade. And I'm like, well, go look at a 2013 Escalade, and
Yeah,
there's
see
a lot
the
of bells.
difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I actually just fit a lady whose clubs, she told me, were almost 30 years old.
Wow.
And she was amazed how she could hit the new equipment, how forgiving it was, how far it flew.
Yeah.
She was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, we see even when people need new grips. You know,
Absolutely.
normally the conversation goes, "You don't need a new grip, you need a new club," right? So,
Yeah.
Would you just not agree that golf technology, even just post COVID, has just changed? Even in my game,
Absolutely.
it's unbelievable. I mean, what do you think is the biggest thing that our people could do to help themselves?
You know what? The biggest thing I think people do, you know, lessons are always huge.
Yep.
Lessons are big. I always tell people, get started with lessons and at least get you the fundamentals of the golf swing, and then always get fit.
Yep.
Because nobody is the same. No, everybody
Yeah.
everybody stands different. Everybody has a different, you know, the length, height,
Yep.
stance, grip. Get fit. Make sure you get the right clubs in your hand. It makes life so much easier in golf. It makes it enjoyable.
It does. Wouldn't you agree that most people have stuff that's too heavy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. That's what I see. It's just
Yeah.
too heavy, you know, whether it's a stiff shaft, and now they might need a regular graphite to kick the golf ball straight up in the air and
Exactly.
apex it higher.
Exactly.
So, well, we're really excited to have you on staff. Thanks for joining us on Golf Talk.
Oh, I love it.
Viewers get a chance to put the face to the name.
Thrilled to be here. You know, I'm a resident. I live here also, and this is just a pleasure to work here.
That's great. So if anybody wants to maybe get fit by you or take a golf lesson, how can they get in touch with you?
Just call the pro shop at Toqua, and we'll get you set up.
Perfect. Awesome. Rick, thanks for everything.
Thanks, Case. It's
Thanks
awesome.
for joining us.
Thank you.
As we continue to work our way down the line, we've made our way to the TaylorMade stop. With us, we've got our head golf professional at the Links at Kahidi, Mr. Charles Ruffers. Charles is on staff with TaylorMade. And Charles, kind of tell us a little bit about what TaylorMade's got going on today.
Yeah, so we've brought two of our staffers out here on site, and they're showing us all the latest and greatest with QI35, best technology to help you out for ladies, seniors. It's going to help you get that ball elevated. So our fairway woods and hybrids are really going to help you get a little bit more distance and carry. And on top of that, we got our great putter lines. Our spiders are come out as well. So come on out, check us out. I have all our fitting equipment over at Links at Kahidi as well. So if you'd like to do a fitting, you're welcome to come on down, and I'll fit you in. We'll get you squared away.
You also sell the golf ball there, correct?
We do have the TP5, the TP5X, the Tour Speeds. So we've got the whole product line over there at Kahidi.
So Charles, just outside of TaylorMade, and obviously what's going on today, tell viewers a little bit about what you do day to day here in Tellico Village. What leagues are you involved in? Kind of what's your job entail?
Yeah. So I've been in charge of the Men's Golf Association, TVMGA, for 3 years now. I've been working with them for 8 years. It's been an awesome run. We've got over 800 members. We rotate all 3 golf courses. We have a different game every week. Our most popular is you choose. You pick your friend, come out and play one low net game. I also help assist with the TVLGA 9 with Jay Bergen. It's been a fantastic league. We've had a lot of fun with the ladies out there as well. So,
Yeah. How do you sign up for those events?
go on to Chelsea, go to your events tab, just go to event request. Typically, depending on the formats, like for the men's leagues and the you choose, if it's a 2-man, there'll be 2 spots that you can go on there. I've also got videos that can help you navigate those on our golftellicovillage.com website. Just click on the tee times, and I've got about 7 videos on there that you can watch.
I was just about to tee that one up for you, and you went right to it. Good job, Pro. We appreciate you and everything you
Thanks,
do.
Pro.
We'll let you get back to it. So Pat, I think you can tell we've got a lot of golf professionals that are passionate about club fitting and having our players advance with their games. And I think that video alone is a great way to put a face to a name, right? And
Yeah.
not only just what they're doing with club fitting, but what their day-to-day roles are within our operation.
Yeah. So thanks for the videos, Casey. We appreciate that. And it is good to see so many people show up. But can you get club fittings from our pros rather than just wait a year for vendor day?
Yeah, you can, and you know they all included their emails in the videos. And if you're ever searching for an immediate, club that you're ready to have now, right? Just contact one of the golf professionals. You don't necessarily have to go to one golf pro for a certain company.
Right.
They can get you in contact with somebody who can get you what you want immediately. Just call a golf shop, get a hold of them. Their emails are on our website on golftelcovillage.com, and be happy to take care of you.
Well, I'm going to use one of my experiences. So I'm looking for a new set of clubs, and I did go to vendor day, but Adam Jacob was the one that helped me most. So we've got the equipment here in Tellico Village to fit.
Absolutely.
And if I don't like my 4-iron and I want to change to a hybrid, we could even go to individual clubs.
We can, yeah. You can get one wedge, one driver, one fairway wood, one iron. If you lose your 7-iron, you need a replacement, we can get it.
Sure. Another question, what do the vendors think about us? I mean, they're all showing up, all this crowd of people. Is there an advantage to them, or are you getting any feedback?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Tellico Village is a little unique because you've got a lot of people who maybe retired or have moved here or were raising children, whatever it is, but they're new to golf, a lot of them, right? And so I think the vendors versus normal country clubs, you see just the same people over and over, 200 or 300 members that are always there, right? I think it's a very captive audience because a lot of people are still learning about the game, and the vendors appreciate our relationship. I think as many demo days as they're willing to do is a testament to how busy our operation is, how good our relationships are, and just the success that we've had in the past, and want to continue to build on that in the future.
Well, speaking for the golfers, we appreciate you doing this and having the ability to fit us for clubs, because sometimes it's rather inconvenient to drive outside the village, and it's a lot less dangerous than ordering online and shipping back.
For
that
sure.
kind of thing. So,
for sure. And you want your clubs to fit you.
Absolutely.
You don't want to just grab something off the rack. You want it to fit you.
So Wells, Casey just took over the show.
It's all right.
It's now your turn. How about giving us an update on what you're doing? This is a tough time of year for spring. You're transitioning from not cutting in a lot of inside work to outside work. I see lots more mowers.
Yep.
What's going on?
We've had a lot going on, Pat. And the last time we did Golf Talk was kind of the middle of March. We were right in the midst of our spring aerification. And, we had 3 weeks of that in March. It went off without a hitch. This was the first year we did it without kind of looking for outside help, temp labor. We just kind of all banded together and knocked that out. And, it was really good aerification this year. We had no major damage from when you have that much going on greens and you're pulling that many cores and you got that many machines going. It's very easy to get a hydraulic leak or something happen, and nothing major happened. We had no issues. And then following aerification, we had great weather. I mean, March was really good. April, it started to warm up. We had a couple days in the mid to upper 30s, kind of that first week or two of April, but no major frost.
Had a little rain in there?
A little bit of rain, yeah. Kahiti got hit with some frost that we didn't get in the main village. We had some thick fog on a couple of those cold mornings. But a lot of years we'll kind of start to green up through the end of March, 1st of April, and then we'll just get hammered with frost, and it sets everything back a couple weeks. So we had none of that this year, which was
I would
a blessing.
almost say that this was a record rebirth of the golf courses this year.
I would say so. This time of year, you're always going to have a little bit of sod work around greens, especially low-cut areas with high traffic, some shade, north-facing slopes.
I was going to ask you about that.
Tenacity and Kahiti all did about 6 to 8 pallets around greens. Toke was still working on some tee boxes that are shaded and high traffic. They're going to have to replace some grass on, but that's part of the transition zone. When you get in, January we had the cold weather with snow. Well, February we had multiple days in single digits or upper single digits with no snow. So when you have that on a dormant grass, you're going to have some form of winter damage. But really, in the grand scheme of things, it was not bad. Toke's got hole 10, I believe. At Toke was still a little bit behind, but you go there and you look at it, and what's running down the right side of the fairway? Tall pines, thick cover. That fairway faces north. You got pines on that south end.
Poor fairway number 10.
It just struggles. So areas like that will stay cart path only. It makes a big difference. You go to all 3 of our golf courses, and where's our best shortcut turf? Par 3 fairways, right? No cart traffic. I've always said from a grass growers perspective, if I had it my way, we would go cart path only from Halloween to Easter.
You would not be a very popular guy, though.
Well, maybe not, but when the fairways would look like they do, starting by the end of April, maybe ideas would change, but you know that's not the world we live in Tellico, and folks need to drive their ball, so we do what we can.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's even evident on number 7 at Tenasseee. You know, you get going up that hill to the green, and I mean that whole slope up to the green's perfect.
Yeah.
You can see where everybody exits, and
It's a time of the year where we're getting back into golf. Lots of people go out. Some, as you were saying, a lot of us are new to this.
Yep.
A lot of villagers are new. And there's this pole that we understand that when I drive my cart, that's where I enter the fairway.
correct.
And then there's another pole where I should exit the fairway. Is that cut and dry?
No, I mean ideally, you just because that green stake or red stake are where they are, that you can enter and exit anywhere between that green and red stake. And I know it's easier riding up the cart path, green stake, hang a right. You
Yeah.
know, you're in the fairway. But if it's been a day or two since we've moved it, everybody's doing that. Go up another 20 yards and swing it. Or better off, a true 90 degrees, go all the way up the cart path until your ball is 90 degrees to your right,
Sure,
hang a right,
sure.
you know.
So what's the hint to a golfer? And it's in my head. I know what
Yeah,
I know
If
the
it-
answer I'm looking for.
If it's brown, go around, right? Or
That and there's tracks
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah.
where the carts have been going over
Yep.
the grass and it's
Yep.
pushing it one direction.
Yep, yep.
So the idea would be to miss that spot.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if there's some cart traffic you can see, but just past that's lush green grass that hasn't been driven over much, I mean, you can tell, especially this time of year when we're still kind of coming out of winter dormancy. Just cruise up past that spot and then go on. And June, July, August, the Bermuda grass is actively growing, you know, almost sometimes too much. You know, you don't see as much of that. But right now you can really see where the high traffic areas are because that's where your weaker turf is. So
Yeah.
if you can stay out of those, you're going to do everyone a favor.
I remember one evening I was sitting at home a year or two ago in Wells. I got a text from Wells. My phone went off and I read it, and it was like a USGA article about cart traffic.
Yeah.
And they had no carts in one area, kind of middle of the road carts in another area, and then they ran carts back and forth over and over, and
Yep.
it was unbelievable.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Augusta versus
Yeah.
maintenance that had no budget at all, right?
Yeah.
Just totally brown versus
Yeah.
perfectly lush.
Yeah, there's some private country clubs in East Tennessee that are cart path only all winter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or
For
rough
sure.
only. I don't know if rough only would work very well for us because some of our rough areas are so narrow.
Right.
I'd be worried you just beat that down so
Yeah.
bad, especially where you have tree competition. But you know, if you can avoid the bad spots, it's going to help out. You know, later in the year and kind of getting back on greens. You know, coming out of verification, our greens are perfect. They're smooth. They're great. And it's somewhat discouraging how many folks I see playing that don't fix their ball mark. And I don't think anyone's doing it on purpose, but again, right now our greens are firm. They've got that nice thick layer of sand just below the surface. And so balls don't hit and stick like they do in July or August, right? So-
Okay, back to you. Give us the lecture of fixing ball marks because most of us hit towards the front of the green.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell us again.
Sure, I think a lot of our players are hitting hybrids and fairway woods
Yep.
into the greens from 150, 170 yards, whatever it may be. And ball is landing, pitching onto the front of the green, and it's either on the back of the green or maybe it's over the green.
Right.
And so they go chip and they forget that they did actually make a mark onto the front side of the green. So I encourage you to fix that. And also, if I'm hitting a putt from 20 feet, I'm fixing every ball mark
Sure.
from my ball to the hole that's in my line. So there's normally a few,
Yeah.
right? And so I will say I think that coming out of aeration, I'm noticing some ball marks. But even when I play, when it's aerified, I think it is hard to actually find
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
when the greens are aerified where the ball mark was. So
Right.
the marks I'm seeing, I know they were made 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. And now the greens are healing up, and so just encourage players as the greens coming out of aeration, you can see ball marks. It might not be yours, but fix it.
Well, I have this vision every time I get on a green, following your advice, and my vision is that the patrons or the neighbors that are living around that green are watching me fix a ball mark, and they're thinking I'm a good golfer, and I'm not.
That's okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'm okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I
Yeah,
hit
that's
the
right.
green.
Tip your cap.
Yeah,
Right.
and I've got
Yeah.
to walk 50 yards over the green to hit my chip back up.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, moving out of greens and some of our fairway areas that we're replacing, we're also in the midst of all 3 golf courses got fertilized wall to wall last week, so
Yep.
it worked out perfect. We had kind of a rainy week, but not too much rain to keep us from fertilizing. So we fertilized I think 80 acres at Tenasseee and then 90 or 100 at Kahidi and Tokwa. So that really kind of is going to make everything pop. We're mowing down all of our native areas, or have done that through the month of April. Now we're going out and treating those areas to keep any broadleaf and woody weeds from coming up. You know, it's just kind of continuing to set ourselves up, because once we get into the middle of May or June, it's going to just be a kind of a mow and maintain kind of thing for 3 or 4 months. Kahiti actually did something different this year. They got a jump start on airifying tees. So they went ahead and airified their tees middle to the end of April. They got all their tees airified. Tenacity, Toqua will start picking away at ours. I've typically waited until after member guest, but I think we're going to pick away at them. Last year we tried that, and we were in the midst of a pretty major drought in July, and it was tough to keep up when you have open holes on tee boxes. So you know, looking into May, you'll start seeing some action on tees and cultivating some tees and stuff like that.
Well, that was one of the things, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because what you're doing now is what is going to prevent the issues golfers face with dryness, lack of water, all of those things later in August and September that we always face. But if you have that healthy turf now,
That's right.
it helps us get through it.
And it's not as hot right now too. So Jordan realized, man, doing these tees when it's not 95 degrees is a lot better. You might have a few less staff, but you can work a little longer when it's not so hot. So we're going to pick away at it in May also.
Well, good.
And then we should be set up really for a good, I think by Memorial Day, or you know, even the middle of May, give us 2 more weeks. Greens will all be perfect. Fairways will still be coming in, and I think we'll be in really good shape. And you know, I know last year, member guests being the 2nd week of June, right? So last year Kahiti was still kind of recovering all the way through July and August. I think folks that played member guests last year may have that stuck in their brain of the conditions of the golf course is following a tough. No, it's going to be, we're going to blow their socks off this year. It's going to be good.
But it's looking good.
Yeah.
Anything else laying out there you want to talk about?
No, just, you know, keep supporting us, and you know, we'll do our best to stay out of your way, but at the end of the day, we got work to do, and we try to do the best we can.
They don't close.
No.
We never close. You know, most places have a full day of closure. They get 1 hour a week. It's Tenacity on Mondays, Toqua on Wednesdays, and Kahiti on Fridays have a 1 hour block, or we'll block the first hour of tee times for them to, you know, but
that usually allows us time to top dress greens, put down a fertilizer, you know, do spray some fairways, do something that it's hard to do ahead of a 7:30 single tee. 8:30 doesn't sound like a whole lot of advantage, but when we can start at 5:30, it gives us 3 hours to get going before play gets out there. So
I've been out there watching you work in the dark.
That was me this morning. Headlamp on.
Headlamps,
So Casey, we have a little different situation going on at Tenacity right now. We're rebuilding it.
Right.
Your office is over there. You've got your assistant over there. Lots of people in and out, parking issues. We're not going to discuss that. We're going to talk about a little bit about the future when that clubhouse is finished. And one day I'm sitting around and I'm hitting 3-iron, and I decide I'm going to change to a 5-wood. At the new Tenacity, what would that be like?
Well, one, I think that's a good change. I don't see many 3-irons anymore. I think 5-wood's probably a more consistent club, or a 7-wood. So in the new Tenacity building, there is a space, right, where we could potentially get some golf simulators in there.
They're set up as multi-purpose rooms.
That's
today.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So it's a large space, and I think, and the Golf Advisory Committee agrees, Wells agrees, that we'd be best off if those were golf simulators.
Right.
Utilizing the technology we've been talking about. We did over $40,000 in club sales at a demo day, and one day.
All right.
We did over $20,000 in the kind of homemade, if you will, simulators in the pavilion area over the winter, just in 5 or 6 individual demo days. The National Golf Foundation has reported that in the last 5 years that the use of simulators is over doubled. Basically.
Let me stop you right there. So every dollar that comes in revenue-wise that is not out playing rounds of golf on the course goes into supporting golf.
Correct.
One of 2 things is going to happen, potentially. Let me repeat that, potentially. It can control the price of a round of golf because you're generating additional revenue.
That's correct.
And or to those people that are not golfers, it can reduce or potentially reduce the subsidy of golf because you're generating more revenue.
That's exactly right. You know, voluntary revenue. How can we find more ways to make money that isn't immediately on the user, right? And so how can we utilize golf technology for our players in simulator space? Well, right now, a great example, if you walked in and you said, okay, I want that 5-wood. I'm
Right.
tired of this 3-iron. I want that 5-wood. Well, if you met me at Tenasseee, or Lucas or Joe, the golf professionals at Tenasseee, and you said, hey, Lucas, I'd really like to get a 5-wood. Well, Lucas should be able to, if he was at Toke or Kahiti, he can go grab the TrackMan, take you straight to the range, dial in this 5-wood here, let's hit it, right? But if you're at Tenasseee, it's, well, can you meet me tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Sure.
at Tokwa? There's nowhere to go. I can't take you on the golf course.
Right.
Why? It's packed. There's no driving range. Currently, there's no putting green, right? So there's nowhere to go. Versus for me to fit you in a 5-wood, that should take all of 10 minutes.
Right.
Period. Just walk into that simulator. So let's pretend our backdrop here is the simulator.
Okay.
Okay. In the indoor simulator, the TrackMan IO, it's called IO for indoor only, right? You should be able to walk in and you're hitting.
Right.
10 seconds, it's on, it's ready to go. You just hit and numbers start popping up. In our homemade simulator in the pavilion, it takes John North's team at Tokwa, their maintenance team, they've got to go in and put it all together for us, and then the golf professionals got to take the TrackMan from the golf shop where it's locked up, set up the projector, set up extension cords, get everything rolling, get it turned on. It's a 15-minute setup process. So now I'm taking 15, 20, plus the fitting, 30 minutes to do this. It might not even be worth your time right now, right? And that's why we have big vendor demo days in there, because it's worth the time of getting all this set up. So in this new one, everything's time management, right? It's,
Sure.
What do you play golf? Why don't you play golf? Weather and time. It's not cost. It's weather and time, right? So if we can get you in there, get you in that 5-wood quick, think PJ Superstore. You walk in there, you might have 15 minutes. They'll sell you a $500 golf club.
Right.
Right. We want to be able for our players to not have to go to Turkey Creek. We don't want them to go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Edwin Watts or PJ Superstore. We want them to stay home, right? But we can't do that without the technology.
But then at the same time, you've got that indoor IO simulator sitting there, and you can go play around the golf.
You can. You can play Pebble Beach. You can play St. Andrews. Your grandkids come in. They've got.
I was going to bring that up.
Your grandkids come in town. They've got zombie dodgeball on there. They got football. They've got baseball. They've got all kinds of cartoon characters where they're hitting the golf ball, trying to hit the character and blow them up.
Sure.
And with that, you're renting the space.
Right.
Tellico Village POA is making revenue. The National Golf Foundation reported that most golf simulators have a return on investment of 1 year or less.
Well, let's go back a number of years. I think it was Chris Sykes that proposed the purchase of the first simulator.
Yep.
I recall it was going to be somewhere about a year for payback, and
Yep.
it actually surprised us. What was it?
Less.
It
It
was
was
about-
about 4 months.
About 4 months.
Yeah.
And then we went out and bought another one,
Yep.
and it was about 4 months.
That's correct.
Yeah. So we're looking at what, 185,000?
185. That's the entire space.
Right.
Right.
That's furniture.
Furnishings, kind of the hangout area, the lounge. Because with these simulators comes a really, really neat environment, right? For you and your wife, if the grandkids are in there, you might go get a bottle of wine and you're sitting there hanging out, and then you've got 4 buddies over there next to you, and they've got it rented, and they've got a bucket of beer, you know. So you want that area to be nice. So the TrackMan IO with build out and everything is about $50,000 per simulator.
Right.
So they get you at about 100. Plus you're going to have to, you know, put some finishes on it
Sure.
and everything. So Thomas Tellico is actually.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
We're talking golfers.
Oh, okay, sure.
These are golfers that are doing this.
That's correct.
So what happens when non-golfers are asked to pay for it?
Yep.
And so now you've got this, back in the day, the pickleball situation.
Yeah.
Pickleball's filling up. The players want more courts. Long-range planning said it was going to be 2025, which is now, but those courts have been over there for 2 years because the pickleball people got together through Timeless Tellico, through taxable donations,
Yep.
and raised money to offset.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what are we asking golfers to do today?
So through Timeless Tellico, 501c3, make a charitable donation to Timeless Tellico so that they can help us in our initiative as a golf advisory committee, as directors, as staff. All we're trying to do is help the golf experience be better.
Right.
We're just telling you this is where the future of golf is. Where can we go when it's raining? Where can we go when it's too hot? Where can we go when it's too cold? Where can I go with my bad knee and it's cart path only because it rained 1.5 inches? The answer is nowhere currently. We want to go somewhere, and through this, we're also making revenue. So
I was going to bring that up.
For non-golfers, this thing's paying for itself. It's actually probably going to help you with that subsidy of golf because we're going to generate revenue through it.
And there's also that potential of generating revenue to potentially keep the cost of a round more in line.
Absolutely.
So the more revenue we can generate, club sales, shirts, apparel, shoes,
Yep.
balls,
Private events through simulators,
all
all
that
of it.
stuff
Yep,
works.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, like Casey had mentioned before, to think about is there is no range at Tenacity right now.
Yep.
Never will be. Well, maybe one day.
We hope.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
We hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If not, we got
But
9
there's
acres
not
to sell.
now. There's
I'm
But
not
not
right
going
now,
with this.
yeah,
That's a good point.
there's no way to warm up.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys get out there and hit balls into the lake. Well, guess what? That tee you used to hit balls off of is gone.
Yeah.
No offense, but you're not going to be able to hit it off the fringe around the putting green
Right.
into the lake.
Yeah.
That won't be allowed. So, these simulators, I think, warm-up spots
Sure.
will.
Yep.
I think honestly, on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when tee times are coming in every 10 minutes. I mean, I know if I was playing, hey Casey, let me get 10 minutes on the simulator.
Yeah.
Hit 3 or 4 clubs, 5, 6 balls each.
Yeah,
And then
and I
you-
was
then
going to
you're
bring
done.
up most of my buddies that went down and hit it off the bank of the lake
Yeah.
is only hitting 4 or 5 balls.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So your foursome shows up. We've got a 10:30 tee time. Show up a few minutes early. That
Yep.
foursome walks in there, hits 6 balls each, and goes and plays.
Yep. Book it 10 to 10:15. Go hit the putting green 15 minutes, and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the neat thing about the TrackMan is it's got technology to help you run a business within the business. So you would rent that bay through TrackMan, right? So you could go in there and say, all right, I got my 11:20 tee time next Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and get in there and rent this simulator from 10:40 to 11 o'clock, and I'm going to be able to hit balls, and then I go to the putting green, and I'm going to the tee.
And by going through Timeless Teleco, we're sort of putting the onus on the golfer primarily, but anybody can donate
They can.
because it's going to protect all of us.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, I may end up on a blooper reel, but thank you very much for your input today.
Thanks,
It was
Pat. Appreciate you, Pat.
very good being here with you, and there was a lot of information that I hope everybody listens to. And thank you all for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to TVN. There's a lot of information comes out every month. These guys and ladies do a lot of good work keeping us informed. Hit that like button, and as always, your comments are more than welcome. Until next month, see you again.